Hello, welcome to my channel Biology the Living Science. Today we will discuss the kingdom Protista. First of all, we will take definition, we will study in short about type, their aquatic habitats and the special features of particular group of Protista. We will read a line of NCERT and we will discuss in more detail. First line for Protista is all single cell eukaryotes are placed under Protista. What it means said? An organism which is having single cell and a well developed and membrane bound nucleus, which is a prime sign of eukaryotes, are placed in Protista. But boundary of this kingdom are not well defined, because what may be a photosynthetic protistian to one biologist may be plant for other biologists. But out of this, in this book, we will study specially 5 types of Protista. First is Cryptophyte, second one is Dignophysolate, third one is Glenoids, fourth slime mold, and fifth is protozoans under the kingdom of Protista. The members of Protista are mainly found in aquatic. So the members of Protista are primarily aquatic. They are found in water. It may be marine, it may be non-marine water, it may be a river, or it may be ocean. This kingdom form a link with other dealing with plants, animals and fungi. Being eukaryotes, as we have discussed, Protistian cell body contains a well-defined nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. Some have a special feature, for example, flagella, or some have cilia. Protista produce sexually and asexually by a process involving cell fusion and zygote formation. So, this was an introduction that a single cell eukaryotic cell are placed in Protista. There are no boundaries for this kingdom. We will study 5 types of Protista. First one is Pexophyte, Dignophytes, Glenoids, slime molds and protozoan. They are mainly found in aquatic. They also link with plant, animals, fungi. Being eukaryote, they are having a special membrane-bound nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. The mode of reproduction is asexually as well as sexually and involving a cell fusion, means a fusion of 2 cells and formation of a diploid zygote. So, this was all about introduction. We will discuss step by step individual type of Protista. Our first Protistian is Chrysophyte. It is also known as diatoms earth. So we will discuss. This group includes diatoms and golden algae, also known as plasmid. They are found in fresh water as well as in marine atmosphere or marine environment. Being a microscopic and float passively, it means they are not having their own locomotory organ. They swim or they transfer themselves by force of water current. So they are moving or floating passively. They are also known as plankton. Most of them are photosynthetic ones. They are making their food by use of sunlight. In diatoms, the cell wall form two thin overlapping cells which feed together in softbox. The cell wall are embedded with silica and thus the wall are indestructible. So this mode of action will make a solid material which is not easy to disturb. So read indestructible. We will read again. In diatoms, the cell wall form two thin overlapping sets which fit together as in a softbox. The wall are embedded, means they are embedded in a cilia, silica, and thus the walls are indestructible. Thus, diatoms have left behind a large amount of cell wall deposit in their habitat. What is it means is that when a diatom or chryophytes died at place, they will leave behind it a large amount of undestructible diatoms. So, thus, diatoms have left behind a large amount of cell wall deposit in their habitat. This accumulation over billion of years is referred to as diatomous. As we have discussed, psychrophytes, also known as diatomous, are being gritty means they are used in polishing, filtration of oils and soap. Gritty means granular. Being gritty, they are used for polishing, filtration and soap. Diatoms are also known as chief producer. The question must be asked in your exam. Who is the chief producer of ocean? Answer is diatoms. Diatoms is chief producer of ocean. We discussed chrysophytes. They are also known as diatoms. They are mainly found in fresh as well as marine atmosphere. They are microscopic and float passively in water current. Most of them are photosynthetic in diatom cell walls embedded to thin olefic cell which produce a undestructible wall which is called as diatomous. Being graded, they are also useful in polishing and filtration of oils and soap. They are also known as a primary producer or a chief producer. Let me correct my sentence. Diatoms are the chief producer in ocean. Next protozoans is protista is diagnophragilates. Its name suggests that di means two and flagella means a locomotory organ. So this type of organism contains two flagella. That's why they are called diagnophragilates. These organisms are mostly marine and photosynthetic. They are found in both fresh water and also they are photosynthetic. Photosynthetic means they are using sunlight for manufacturing of food. They appear in yellow, green, brown, blue or red depending on the main pigment present in the cell. The pigments is a part of cell which provide a specific color to that particular organism. So if the pigment is having in yellow, green, brown, blue or red, the particular organism will see in that particular color. The cell wall has tough cellulose plates on their outer surface. So this is a basic and prime characteristic of diagnophragilates, that cell wall has stiff cellulose plate on outer surface. Most of them have two flagella, as we have discussed. Two flagella. That's why they are called diagnophragilates. Out of two, one lies longitudinally. This means it covers the body. For example, this type of flagella. and the other one is transverse ligament pass the all over body by this one. Very often red diagnophthalates, for example, Gonulax, undergoes such a rapid multiplication. It means it will reproduce or it will increase the number of cells. In that way, they make the sea appear red. So they will go in a very fast way, and it will cover the whole ocean, and the color of whole ocean will be converted into red. It is also called red tide. Toxic released by such large number may even kill other marine animals such as fish. So जो बात हमने की डायग्नोफ्लाजेलेट्स, हम उसको क्यों बोलते हैं ऐसा, क्योंकि उसमें दो फ्लैजेला रहती है. दैट्स व्हाई दे आर कॉल्ड डायग्नोफ्लाजेलेट्स. आउट ऑफ टू, one lies longitudinally and second one is transversely. They are also having roles of multiple multiplication. So they will fastly reproduce and will increase the number of cells. For example, a diagnophthalates which is red in color will with rapid multiplication it will cover the all ocean, and the color of ocean will be appears as a red. They are also known as red tide. Toxic produced by in large amount is also responsible to kill a normal flora or a normal organism present over here. For example, fish. So this was how all about diagnophthalates. बात करते हैं थर्ड मेंबर यूग्लिनोइड्स. Euglenoids, before start of discussion, let me tell one thing. Euglenoid is having very specific character that it will act as a vegetarian and it will also act as a non-vegetarian. So it is a combination of both. Let us go in more detail. Majority of them are freshwater organisms found in stagnant. They are not found in a floating water. They are found in stagnant. Instead of cell wall, they have a protein-rich layer called pellic, which marks their body flexible. So, a special character of euglenoids is that they don't have cell wall. They have a protein-rich layer called pellicle, which marks their body very flexible. They have two flagella, a short and long one. As we have discussed in diagnophthalates, they are having also two flagella, but in that case it was longitudinally and transversely. But in case of euglenoid, one flagella is long and second one is short. So the question must be asked, the protista which are having two flagella but it having very short and a long flagella is present in euglenoids, and a flagella which is longitudinally and transversely is present in diagnophthalates. So though they are photosynthetic in presence of sunlight, when deprived of sunlight they behave like heterotrophs by predating on other smaller organisms. What means is that अगर इनके पास सनलाइट रहता है then they will behave as a photosynthetic organism and they will use sunlight for manufacturing of energy. But if sunlight is not present in enough amount, it will go deeply in the ocean and it will consume or it will start predating a smaller organism. So they can behave as a vegetarian and they can also behave as a non-vegetarian. Interestingly, the pigments of euglenoids are identical to those present in higher plants. This is also a unique characteristic of euglenoids that they are having pigment which are present in higher plants. As an example, you can take euglena. Euglena is an example of euglenoids. This is the simple figure of euglenoid. One is large flagella, second is small. So we will repeat all things about glenoids. Majority of them are freshwater, found in stagnant water. They do not contain cell wall. They have a protein layer which called pellicle, which makes their body flexible. They are also having two flagella. One is short and second one is long. Though they are photosynthetic in presence of sunlight, even deprived of sunlight, they behave like mitotrophs. So it is combination of photosynthetic and mitotropics by predating on their smaller organism. Interestingly, the pigments of ignorance are identical to those present in higher plant. You can take example of Gluina. Next topic is slime molds. Slime molds are saprophytic protista. Saprophytics means they are having ability to live on delicate or dead organism. For example, any portion of plant, any leaf, any tings, or any part of organism or any body of dead organism. This type of organism will live on this organism. So that's why they are called saprophytic. The body moves along relating twigs and leaves engulfing organic matter present in body of that particular animal or plant under suitable condition. The form and aggregation, which is called plasmodium, which may grow and spread over several feet. But in case of unfavorable condition, the plasmodium differentiate and form fruiting bodies bearing spore at the tip. The spore possess through. This type of spore help the organism to protect in unadvisable condition or unfavorable condition. For example, favorable condition is not present. For example, high temperature, low temperature, high salinity. In this kind of condition, organism will convert itself in a dormant phase. This type of dormant phase is called spore. Whenever a suitable condition will be available, this type of spore will be converted once again in vegetative form. So, the main role of the spore is to protect an organism against extremely resistant, to make it extremely resistant and survive for many years in unfavorable or under adverse condition. These types spore are destroyed by air current over the atmosphere. So this was all about slime mold, type of saprophytic, how they get their food, what they do in favorable condition, what they do in unfavorable condition, and how spore is produced and how it transfers from one portion to another position. Our next example is protozoans. This is the well defined, and we have studied most of in our 11th or 10th standard. The protozoas. All protozoa are heterotrophs. It means they conserve organic matter, or they depends on organic substance for production of energy, and they lives as a predator or parasite. There are two different words. First one is predator and second one is parasite. Let us discuss one by one. Predators means any organism which consume an entire part of organism. This is called predator. For example, we can take example of a frog. A frog will consume any small ant or any small insect. So it is called, frog is called as a predator. But if organism lives on a part or a body of a particular organism, then it called parasite. For example, any insect which is living on body of any major organism. For example, There are so many types of insects or lives on body of cow and buffalo. This type of organism is called parasite. So this is the main difference between predator and parasite. So all protozoans are heterotrophs and lives as a predators or parasites. They are believed to be primitive relatives of animals. In class of evolution, we have studied that protozoans are to be believed as a primitive relative of animals. There are four major groups of protozoa we will discuss. First is amoeboid protozoan, second is flagellated, third one is ciliated, and fourth is sporozoids. We will discuss about amoeboid protozoans. These organisms live in fresh water, seawater, or moist soil. They move and capture their prey, means their food, by putting out pseudopodia. This word to require a description. Pseudo means false and podia means any part of locomotion. In this case, a feet. So, if in this type of organism, they will produce a part of body like a feet or a hand. So it is called pseudo hand or pseudo feet. In this case, we will call it as a false feet. That's why it is called pseudopodia. Example is amoeba. The shape of organism is, we have seen like this. This is a cell of paramecium. So if you take an example of amoeba, it will contain a shape like this. But somehow it will elongate its body and will produce a locomotive type of organ, and this type of organ is called pseudopodia. So this was a false locomotive organ. Marine forms have silica cells on their surface. Some of them, such as ant amoeba, are parasite. As we have discussed, what is a parasite, what is a predator. Now, flagellate protozoans. Name suggests that the member of this group are either having flagella. They are either free living or parasite. The parasitic form cause disease such as sleeping sickness. Example, trypanosoma. The question must be asked in your exam that which type of disease is spreaded by flagellate protozoa. The example, sleeping sickness. The type of organism or the name of organism responsible for sleeping sickness is trypanosoma. So this was all about flagellated protozoa. Now, ciliated protozoa. The name suggests it also contains thousands of cilia. They are actively moving. As they contain thousands of cilia, they are capable for moving actively. They do not require the currents of liquid or any winds. They move from one place to another by its own self by using a thousand of cilia present on their body. They are aquatic, actively moving organism because of presence of thousands of cilia. They have a cavity that's open to outside of the cell surface. The coordinate movement of cilia cause the water laden with food to spread into gullet. Example, paramecium. We will discuss this figure. For example, it is a paramecium. They are having so much flagella presence over this portion of body. During catching of food, this type of portion will allow a majority of water to become inside of the body along with food. as we have discussed, the coordination movement of rows of silica cause the water laden with food to be stored in the mullet. Example is paramecium. So this is the way of ciliated protozoans to get food directly from ocean with help of cilia. Now we will discuss once again about ciliated protozoa. This type of cilia are aquatic actively moving organism because of presence of thousands of cilia. They have cavity that's open to outside of the cell surface. The coordinated movement of rows of cilia cause water laden with food to be stirred into millet. Example of this type of ciliated protozoans is Paramecium. Now we will discuss about sporozoans. The name suggests there is something related to spore during the life cycle of this type of protozoans. These include a diverse organisms that have infectious spore-like stage in their life cycle. Because they contain a spore-like stage during their whole life cycle, and they are responsible for infection in another plant and other animals. The most notorious is Plasmodium. Plasmodium is a protozoan which is responsible for malaria. The name of this type of organism we have studied is Plasmodium vivax. The most notorious is Plasmodium malariae which cause malaria, a disease which has staggering effect on human population. So this type of organisms is responsible to spread disease in human or any other animal, and as the spore-like stage is a compulsory part of their life cycle, they are called as a sporozoans. So guys, this was all about kingdom Protista. In our next lesson, we will study about Protista. We will discuss about a next kingdom. The name of that kingdom is fungi. Till now, be safe, be in contact. Goodbye. Bye bye.